Hello here, we're here in Dundee with the party leader, Kenny MacAskill, just talking about George Beermaker, the forgotten Dundonian radical reformer, about his life and legacy and what it means for us in this day and age. So I'd like to ask you, Kenny, first question. Um, what was the most fascinating and impressive thing about George Beermaker that you learned? Uh, yeah.
I think his courage and his decency. We have a obelisk to the Scottish political martyrs in the Carlton Cemetery. There are five names upon it. The lead one is obviously Thomas Muir, who most people have heard about. Very few people, even in Dundee, will have heard about George Wheelmaker. But he should be on that obelisk as well, because he was transported to Australia for 14 years. He sadly died there, and he was actually brave, and at one stage spoke up because one of the others who was transported, it had been Wheelmaker's work. So I think he deserves to be remembered because of what he did for the right of democracy, the right for working people to have a say in their own affairs.
And so I'd like to get your thoughts on the petition that Dundee Alba is putting forward to try and pressure the council or some other body to put either a plaque or just something to commemorate Mealmaker in his home city of Dundee. And I just think, is it important for us to commemorate and to remember the lesser known parts of Scottish history?
Oh, absolutely. This is part of Scotland working people's history. We've got enough statues in Dundee and everywhere else to lords and ladies, many of whom did absolutely nothing for the ordinary people of this country. George Mealmaker was born in 1768 in the Seagate. At minimum, we should have a plaque down there to say that this is near that spot is where he was born, because he was the man that fought for the ordinary people. He didn't exploit others abroad, and indeed he sought to oppose that. But what he sought to do was to get the right to vote, the right for equality, because Mealmaker and others were enthused by the French Revolution. It was liberty, equality, fraternity, and that's why we should remember him.
Thank you very much. And the final question, what do you think we can learn from the life and legacy of George Mealmaker?
Well, I think we have to stand up for what we believe in, and I think that's what George Mealmaker did. He did believe that it was wrong that ordinary people, the working man and women, didn't get the right to vote. You've got to remember that actually he was transported in 1798. Working people in this country didn't get the right to vote in the full franchise for men, not even women, until after the end of the First World War in 1918. So we have to remember the radical efforts that were made by many over generations and centuries. And Wheelmaker is to the fore. He sadly isn't as well remembered as people such as John Maclean, who rightly should be revered, or indeed Thomas Muir. But George Mealmaker should be up there. His name should be on the obelisk along with Thomas Muir, and he should certainly be remembered in his home city.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Kenny MacAskill. And so please support Dundee Alba's campaign to remember George Mealmaker.